Hello! In the last video I made on this console, I showed how damaged it was. I don't know what he did, but that GPU is up in smoke. CPU we don't know, there's a bunch of flux around it. I cleaned up a little bit of it, but I have no idea what the condition of the CPU is. It's possible he only messed with this because the CPU was fuse bricked, so it's possible we gotta swap that too. We'll find that out, but the first thing we have to do is replace this bunk GPU. I've got a new old stock Kronos 1 to put on there, so we're gonna do that first. And then we'll see what the system does, and if the CPU is indeed bricked, we'll go ahead and replace it as well. Alright, and here you can see is this brand new old stock Kronos 1 chip. It's in beautiful condition. This is what we will be installing onto this console. I don't believe the guy actually took the GPU off the board at all. The pads look perfect, and I think he just hit it with a heat gun and heat gunned it to hell, and that's why the GPU is destroyed. Holy moly, guys, this is crazy. So I put on that new GPU, and the first problem here is that capacitor was shorted. Well, it was actually this one here. These red ones like to pop if they're used with heat. And sure enough, from the heat gunning or whatever this guy did, popped this guy. So we swapped that guy out, and we're still getting a 0020, and I was like, what's going on? So I took a closer look at the board. I want to show you something. What do we see here? Well, the alternate debug point here for the south bridge, the GPIO, is ripped off. But that's not all. As is GPU reset done's via right here. Well, that's the cause of our 0020 right there. So behind that popcorn GPU and voltage error, this guy ripped off GPU reset done. But it gets worse. We come over here, PLL is ripped off. Come up here, post is ripped off. The guy ripped off every single RGH3 point. What on earth? Okay guys, so here's the board in its current state. Now you can see that the new Kronos 1 GPU is installed. Now something interesting I want to point out here about this board is that the CPU that's on this board is actually a test kit CPU. And the guy who owns this, the customer, did not know that. I'm not really sure why. The other thing is the CPU actually is indeed bad. I was able to get it to start now and then, but it doesn't boot consistently, and I was able to diagnose it down to a CPU issue. So I'm pretty sure what happened is the person who heat gunned or baked this board or whatever also damaged the CPU. I really don't like that because if this was a dev kit or something of value would have been lost. Test kits, I don't know, I personally don't think they're very interesting or useful, but I guess it's kind of sad that the CPU was killed. The customer in this case has asked me to change this to be a super dev kit since I have to change the CPU anyway, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. We're going to change the CPU for a zero fuse, and we're going to configure it as a super dev kit. I do want to point out that configuring a zero fuse as a super dev kit doesn't remove any functionality, like if you blow it to JTAG or something, because as a super dev kit, you can still JTAG into it, and that's the main advantage that a zero fuse offers. You can still run freeboot via DevGL if you want. Of course, then you can also run the official XDK firmware, use recoveries and all that with a super dev kit like a normal dev kit. So I'm glad he picked that option because that's what I would have done as well. Unfortunately, I was a bit short on time and I didn't set up the camera to film changing the CPU, but it's the same as with changing the GPU, which you saw earlier. So I just got some paste on there. We're going to put on these heat sinks for testing, and what I'm going to do is write the devgl nan to it, and hopefully it will boot right up. Let's see. It is functioning properly. So this console has been repaired. So we're going to go ahead and configure this now as a super dev kit. We'll blow the fuses to super dev kit, and then we'll flash an appropriate image. Okay, that's done. We'll boot the Zell. And here you can see the system is now configured as a super dev kit. So now we can write the appropriate flash image to the system. Okay guys, I did a trace repair also on the bottom for the point that that other guy ripped off for the debug LED there. And as you can see, that's working now. So that's now 3 total trace repairs I've done. I didn't bother to do the post one, so it's not needed. So we'll boot the system, and this is with the XDK firmware flashed. So obviously it takes a second because it's a dev kit. There it goes, and you can see it is functioning properly. So let's have a look here when it boots up. And there it is. You can see 1 GB development kit. So for stress testing, the first thing I always like to do is this, which is the memory test, and let that run. So I'll go ahead and get some fans connected to this. Okay everyone, the tests are done, so that's going to be it for this console. You can see it is working perfectly now and completely repaired from a destroyed state. Got everything cleaned up and it's ready to go back to the customer. I did replace this heatsink with a copper one at the request of the customer, so he wanted that on there, so now it is, and it's a nice 1 GB board restored back to working condition. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.